Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, we're going to dive into the world of music theory. If you're a musician, singer, songwriter, or simply a music enthusiast, you've probably heard of music theory before. But what exactly is it? Music theory is the study of the fundamental elements of music such as rhythm, melody, harmony, and structure. It's like the grammar of music. It gives us a way to understand and communicate the language of music. In this video, we're going to explore some of the basic concepts of music theory, including scales, chords, keys, and more. We'll also discuss how music theory can be applied in various musical genres, from classical to pop to jazz. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced musician, this video will give you a solid foundation in music theory and help you understand how music works. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of music theory. The first thing to know about music theory is that it is the study of the fundamental elements of music such as rhythm, melody, harmony, and structure. Music theory provides a framework for understanding how music works and gives us a way to communicate about music. Understanding basic music theory concepts, such as scales, chords, and keys, can help you become a better musician or songwriter and enhance your appreciation and enjoyment of music. The fundamental elements of music refer to the building blocks that make up a piece of music. These elements are essential to understanding how music is created and how it communicates emotion and meaning. Rhythm is the element of music that deals with the time aspect of music. It includes the duration of notes, the accentuation of beats, and the overall structure of a piece of music. Rhythm is what creates the groove or feel of a piece of music. Melody is the element of music that deals with the pitch aspect of music. It refers to the sequence of notes that are played or sung over time to create a memorable tune. Melody is what we typically sing or hum along to in a song. Harmony is the element of music that deals with the chords or the combination of notes that are played simultaneously to create a sense of depth and richness to a piece of music. It provides the support for the melody and creates the mood or emotion of a song. Timbre is the element of music that deals with the unique sound quality of different instruments or voices. It is what distinguishes one instrument or voice from another and contributes to the overall texture of a piece of music. Form is the element of music that deals with the structure of a piece of music. It refers to the way the different sections of a piece of music are organized and how they relate to each other. Understanding these fundamental elements of music theory can help you appreciate and analyze music more deeply, and can also provide a foundation for creating your own music. Music theory concepts are the building blocks of music and provide the tools for analyzing and understanding the structure, harmony, melody, and rhythm of a piece of music. Here are some of the most important music theory concepts. Scales. A scale is a sequence of notes arranged in ascending or descending order. The most common scales in Western music are the major and minor scales, which consist of 7 notes each. Chords. A chord is a group of 3 or more notes played simultaneously. Chords provide harmonic support for a melody and can create tension and resolution within a piece of music. Keys. A key is a group of notes that form the basis for a piece of music. The key determines the tonal center of a piece and provides the framework for the melody and harmony. Intervals. An interval is the distance between 2 notes. Intervals are measured in half steps, and different intervals have different qualities, such as major, minor, perfect, augmented, or diminished. Time signatures. A time signature is a notation that indicates the meter of a piece of music. It determines the number of beats in each measure and the type of note that receives the beat. Chord progressions. A chord progression is a sequence of chords that provide the harmonic structure for a piece of music. Common chord progressions include the 1 to 4 to 5 progression and the 2 to 5 to 1 progression. Modes are scales that are derived from the major and minor scales. They provide a different tonal center and can create a different mood or emotion in a piece of music. By understanding these music theory concepts, you can analyze and appreciate the structure and complexity of a piece of music, as well as create your own music with a greater understanding of how it works. Rhythm is one of the fundamental elements of music theory, and it refers to the time aspect of music. Rhythm is what creates the groove or feel of a piece of music, and it encompasses a range of concepts such as duration, tempo, meter, and accentuation. Duration refers to the length of a note, and it determines how long a sound is played or sung. In Western music notation, notes are represented by different shapes, with the shape indicating the duration of the note. Tempo is the speed or pace of a piece of music. It is indicated by a metronome marking or by descriptive terms such as allegro, moderato, or adagio. Meter. Meter is the organization of rhythms into regular patterns of strong and weak beats. It is indicated by a time signature, which tells you how many beats are in each measure and what type of note receives the beat. Accentuation. Accentuation refers to the emphasis or stress placed on certain beats within a measure. It creates a sense of hierarchy within the rhythm and can affect the overall feel of a piece of music. Different styles and genres of music use rhythm in unique ways, and understanding rhythm can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music. Additionally, understanding rhythm can help you create your own music with a sense of groove and flow, and it can provide a foundation for improvisation and musical expression. Melody is one of the fundamental elements of music theory, and it refers to the pitch aspect of music. Melody is the sequence of notes that are played or sung over time to create a memorable tune. Melodies can be simple or complex, and they can be characterized by their contour, range, and phrase structure. Contour. Melodic contour refers to the shape or direction of a melody. A melody can be ascending, descending, or a combination of both. The contour of a melody can create a sense of tension or release and can affect the emotional impact of a piece of music. Range. Melodic range refers to the distance between the highest and lowest notes in a melody. A melody with a wide range can create a sense of drama or excitement, while a melody with a narrow range can create a sense of intimacy or simplicity. Phrase structure. Melodies are often composed of phrases, which are smaller sections of music that create a sense of musical grammar. Phrases can be characterized by their length, their contour, and their relationship to each other. Melody is often the most recognizable and memorable part of a piece of music, and it can evoke powerful emotional responses. Understanding melody can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own melodies and improvisations. Harmony is one of the fundamental elements of music theory, and it refers to the vertical aspect of music. Harmony is the study of the chords and chord progressions that create a sense of tonality and support the melody of a piece of music. Harmony can create tension and release, and it can affect the emotional impact of a piece of music. Chords. Chords are groups of 3 or more notes played simultaneously. Chords can be major, minor, augmented, or diminished, depending on the intervals between the notes. Chord progressions. Chord progressions are sequences of chords that create a sense of tonality and harmony. Common chord progressions include the 1 to 4 to 5 progression and the 2 to 5 to 1 progression. Chord progressions can create a sense of tension and release, and they can be used to create emotional impact in a piece of music. Harmonic analysis. Harmonic analysis is the process of analyzing the chords and chord progressions of a piece of music. It can provide insights into the structure and tonality of a piece, as well as the emotional impact of the harmony. Harmony is an essential part of many different styles and genres of music, including classical, jazz, and pop. Understanding harmony can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own chord progressions and harmonies. Additionally, understanding harmony can help you improvise and compose with a greater sense of musical depth and complexity. Timbre is one of the fundamental elements of music theory, and it refers to the quality or tone color of a sound. Timbre is what allows us to distinguish between different instruments or voices, even when they are playing the same pitch or note. Timbre is affected by a variety of factors, including the shape and material of the instrument, the technique used to play the instrument, and the environment in which the sound is produced. Instrumentation. The type of instrument or voice used can greatly affect the timbre of a piece of music. For example, a violin and a trumpet playing the same pitch will sound different due to the different materials, shapes, and playing techniques used for each instrument. Techniques. The techniques used to play an instrument can also affect its timbre. For example, a guitar player can produce different timbres by plucking the strings with their fingers or using a pick. Effects. Effects such as distortion, reverb, and chorus can also affect the timbre of a sound, adding depth and complexity to the sound. Timbre can greatly affect the emotional impact of a piece of music. For example, a bright and airy timbre can create a sense of lightness and joy, while a dark and heavy timbre can create a sense of sadness or despair. Understanding timbre can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own unique sounds and textures. Form is one of the fundamental elements of music theory, and it refers to the organization and structure of a piece of music over time. Form can provide a sense of coherence and unity to a piece of music, and it can help the listener understand and appreciate the structure of the music. Sections. Many pieces of music are composed of different sections, such as an introduction, verse, chorus, bridge, and conclusion. These sections can have different melodies, rhythms, and harmonies, but they are connected through a common theme or structure. Repetition. Repetition is a common form element in music, where a musical idea or section is repeated throughout the piece. Repetition can create a sense of familiarity and unity, and it can help the listener understand and appreciate the structure of the music. Contrast. Contrast is another common form element in music, where different musical ideas or sections are juxtaposed against each other. Contrast can create a sense of tension and release, and it can add depth and complexity to the music. Development. Development is the process of taking a musical idea and transforming or elaborating on it throughout the piece. Development can create a sense of progression and evolution in the music, and it can add interest and complexity to the music. Understanding form can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own compositions and arrangements. Additionally, understanding form can help you identify common musical structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. The fundamental elements of music theory, rhythm, melody, harmony, timbre, and form all interact with each other to create a complete musical experience. Each element contributes to the overall structure and meaning of a piece of music, and they work together to create a sense of unity and coherence. Rhythm and melody. Rhythm and melody are closely connected in music, as the rhythm of a piece can greatly affect the melody and vice versa. The rhythm provides a foundation for the melody to rest on, and the melody can be used to highlight or accentuate specific rhythms in the music. Melody and harmony. Melody and harmony are also closely connected in music, as the melody is often supported and complemented by the chords and harmonies of the piece. The harmony can create tension and release around the melody, and it can add depth and complexity to the overall sound of the piece. Harmony and timbre. Harmony can also interact with timbre in music, as different harmonies and chords can create different moods and emotions depending on the timbre of the instrument or voice used. For example, a minor chord played on a piano can create a sad and somber mood, while the same chord played on a guitar with distortion can create a darker and more intense mood. Form and rhythm. Form can interact with rhythm in music, as the overall structure of the piece can be influenced by the rhythm of the individual sections. For example, a piece with a repeating rhythm may have a verse-chorus structure, where the chorus provides a contrast to the repeating rhythm of the verse. Form and melody. Form can also interact with melody in music, as the overall structure of the piece can be influenced by the development and transformation of the melody over time. For example, a piece with a repeating melody may have a theme and variation structure, where the melody is repeated with different variations and developments throughout the piece. Understanding how these fundamental elements interact with each other can help you appreciate and analyze different types of music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own compositions and arrangements. Additionally, understanding these interactions can help you identify common musical structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. Scales are a fundamental element of music theory and are a series of musical notes arranged in ascending or descending order of pitch. Scales are the building blocks of melodies and harmonies, and understanding scales is essential for understanding how music is constructed and composed. There are many different types of scales used in music, each with its unique sound and character. Here are some of the most common scales used in Western music. Major scale. The major scale is one of the most common scales used in Western music and consists of 7 notes arranged in a specific pattern of whole and half steps. The major scale is often associated with a bright and happy sound and is the basis for many popular songs. Natural minor scale. The natural minor scale is similar to the major scale but with a different pattern of whole and half steps. The natural minor scale is often associated with a sad and melancholic sound and is used in many different genres of music. Pentatonic scale. The pentatonic scale consists of 5 notes and is used extensively in many different styles of music, including blues, rock, and folk music. The pentatonic scale is often associated with a simple and straightforward sound and is popular with beginner musicians. Chromatic scale. The chromatic scale consists of all 12 notes in the Western musical system and is often used for creating tension and dissonance in music. The chromatic scale is often associated with a complex and intense sound and is used in many different genres of music. Modes. Modes are a set of scales that are derived from the major scale and have a unique character and sound. There are 7 different modes, each with its own set of notes and interval patterns. Modes are often used in jazz and classical music and can add depth and complexity to a piece of music. Understanding scales is essential for understanding how melodies and harmonies are constructed in music. and it can provide a foundation for creating your own compositions and arrangements. Additionally, understanding scales can help you identify common musical structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. Chords are another fundamental element of music theory and are made up of 3 or more notes played simultaneously. Chords provide the foundation for harmony in music and are used to support melodies, create tension and release, and add color and depth to a piece of music. There are many different types of chords used in music, each with its unique sound and character. Here are some of the most common chords used in Western music. Major chord. The major chord is made up of 3 notes and consists of the root, the major third, and the perfect fifth. The major chord is often associated with a bright and happy sound and is used extensively in many different styles of music. Minor chord. The minor chord is similar to the major chord but with a different interval pattern. The minor chord is often associated with a sad and melancholic sound and is used extensively in many different genres of music. 7th chord. The 7th chord is a 4-note chord that consists of the root, the major third, the perfect fifth, and the minor 7th. The 7th chord is often used to create tension and dissonance in music and is popular in jazz and blues music. Diminished chord. The diminished chord is a 3-note chord that consists of the root, the minor third, and the diminished fifth. The diminished chord is often associated with a tense and unstable sound and is used to create tension in music. Augmented chord. The augmented chord is a 3-note chord that consists of the root, the major third, and the augmented fifth. The augmented chord is often used to create a sense of tension and anticipation in music and is popular in classical and jazz music. Understanding chords is essential for understanding how harmony is constructed in music, and it can provide a foundation for creating your own compositions and arrangements. Additionally, understanding chords can help you identify common harmonic structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. Keys are an essential element of music theory and are used to provide a tonal center or home base for a piece of music. A key is a set of pitches or notes that form the basis of a musical composition and provide a framework for the melody and harmony. In Western music, there are 12 different keys, each of which is based on a different note of the musical scale. The most common keys are major and minor keys, which provide the tonal center for most Western music. Major keys are based on the major scale, which is a set of 7 notes arranged in a specific pattern of whole and half steps. The major key is often associated with a bright and happy sound and is used extensively in many different genres of music, including pop, rock, and classical music. Minor keys are based on the natural minor scale, which is a variation of the major scale with a different pattern of whole and half steps. The minor key is often associated with a sad and melancholic sound and is used extensively in many different genres of music, including blues, jazz, and classical music. Each key has a unique set of chords that are commonly used in that key, known as the chord progression. The chord progression provides a framework for the melody and harmony and is an essential part of understanding how music is constructed. Understanding keys is essential for understanding how to compose and arrange music, as well as for analyzing and interpreting existing music. By understanding the key of a piece of music, you can identify the tonal center, predict chord progressions, and understand how melodies and harmonies fit together. Additionally, understanding keys can help you identify common musical structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. In music theory, an interval refers to the distance or space between 2 notes. Intervals are an essential element of music and are used to construct melodies, chords, and harmonies. Intervals are measured in terms of the number of steps or half steps between 2 notes. A half step is the smallest distance between 2 notes, and a whole step is equal to 2 half steps. For example, the interval between C and C hash is a half step, while the interval between C and D is a whole step. There are many different types of intervals used in music, each with its unique sound and character. Here are some of the most common intervals used in Western music. Unison. The unison interval is the distance between 2 notes of the same pitch. In other words, it is the same note played twice. Octave. The octave interval is the distance between 2 notes that have the same name but are 1 octave apart. For example, the interval between C and the next higher C is an octave. Major and minor intervals. Major and minor intervals are intervals that are based on the major and minor scales. A major interval is a distance of 2 whole steps, while a minor interval is a distance of 1.5 steps. Perfect intervals. Perfect intervals are intervals that are considered to be the most stable and consonant intervals. They include the perfect unison, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and perfect octave. Augmented and diminished intervals. Augmented and diminished intervals are intervals that are modified from their original size. An augmented interval is larger than a major interval, while a diminished interval is smaller than a minor interval. Understanding intervals is essential for understanding how melodies and harmonies are constructed in music. By understanding the distance between two notes, you can identify the type of interval and predict the sound and character of a melody or harmony. Additionally, understanding intervals can help you identify common harmonic structures and themes across different genres and styles of music. In music theory, a time signature is a notation that indicates the rhythm and meter of a piece of music. Time signatures are written as a fraction, with the top number indicating the number of beats in each measure, and the bottom number indicating the note value that represents one beat. For example, a time signature of 4/4 indicates that there are 4 beats in each measure, and the quarter note represents 1 beat. Similarly, a time signature of 6/8 indicates that there are 6 beats in each measure, and the 8th note represents 1 beat. Here are some common time signatures used in Western music. 4/4 time. This is the most common time signature in Western music and is often referred to as common time. It consists of 4 beats per measure, with the quarter note representing 1 beat. Many pop, rock, and classical pieces are written in 4/4 time. 3/4 time. This time signature consists of 3 beats per measure, with the quarter note representing 1 beat. It is often used in waltzes and other dance forms. 6/8 time. This time signature consists of 6 beats per measure, with the 8th note representing 1 beat. It is often used in compound meters and gives music a more complex, syncopated feel. 2/4 time. This time signature consists of 2 beats per measure, with the quarter note representing 1 beat. It is often used in marches and other forms of military music. 5/4 time. This time signature consists of 5 beats per measure, and is often used in progressive rock and jazz music. Time signatures are an essential part of understanding rhythm and meter in music. By understanding the time signature of a piece of music, you can predict the rhythmic structure and feel of the music and identify common rhythmic patterns and themes across different genres and styles of music. In music theory, a chord progression refers to a series of chords played in a particular order. Chord progressions are an essential element of harmony in music and are used to create a sense of tension, release, and resolution. Chord progressions have been used in music for centuries and have evolved over time as new styles and genres have emerged. Here are some examples of chord progressions used in different musical styles and genres. Blues progression. The blues progression is a standard chord progression used in blues music and has been influential in the development of many other genres, including rock and roll, jazz, and country. It consists of 3 chords played in a specific order: the I chord, IV chord, and V chord. For example, in the key of A, the blues progression would be A7, D7, and E7. 1-5 to 6-4 progression. This chord progression is a staple of pop music and is often referred to as the 4-chord song. It consists of 4 chords played in a specific order: the I chord, V chord, 6 chord, and IV chord. For example, in the key of C, the chord progression would be C, G, M, and F. Circle progression. The circle progression is a common chord progression used in classical and jazz music. It consists of a series of chords that move in a circle, ending on the original chord. For example, in the key of C, the chord progression would be C, F, BB, EB, AB, DB, GB, and back to C. 12-bar blues. The 12-bar blues is a specific chord progression used in blues music and consists of 3 chords played in a specific order for 12 bars. The chords are the I chord, IV chord, and V chord. For example, in the key of G, the 12-bar blues progression would be G7, C7, and D7. Chord progressions have been used in music for centuries and have evolved over time as new styles and genres have emerged. Understanding chord progressions is essential for understanding the harmony in music and can help you identify common themes and structures across different styles and genres. In music theory, a mode is a specific type of scale that is created by starting on a different note of the scale and following the same sequence of intervals. Each mode has its own unique sound and character and is commonly used in different styles of music, including classical, folk, and jazz. There are 7 different modes, each with its own unique set of intervals and characteristic sound. They are Ionian. This is the standard major scale, with the interval sequence of WWH, WWWH. For example, the C Ionian scale would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Dorian. The Dorian mode is a minor mode and has the interval sequence of WH, WW, WH, W. For example, the Dorian mode on the note C would be C D Eb F G A B B C. Phrygian. The Phrygian mode is also a minor mode and has the interval sequence of H W W W H W W. For example, the Phrygian mode on the note C would be C D B Eb F G Ab B B C. Lydian. The Lydian mode is a major mode and has the interval sequence of W W W H W W H. For example, the Lydian mode on the note C would be C D E F hash G A B C. Mixolydian. The Mixolydian mode is a major mode and has the interval sequence of W W H W W H W. For example, the Mixolydian mode on the note C would be C D E F G A B B C. Aeolian. The Aeolian mode is a minor mode and has the interval sequence of W H W W H W W. For example, the Aeolian mode on the note C would be C D Eb F G Ab B B C. Locrian. The Locrian mode is a minor mode and has the interval sequence of H W W H W W W. For example, the Locrian mode on the note C would be C D B Eb F G B Ab B B C. Modes are often confused with scales, but they are not the same thing. A scale is a set of notes arranged in a specific pattern of whole and half steps, while a mode is a type of scale that is created by starting on a different note of the scale and following the same sequence of intervals. Modes can be used to add different tonal colors to music and create different moods and emotions. Understanding modes can help musicians create more complex and interesting harmonies in their compositions. Music theory concepts such as rhythm, melody, harmony, timbre, form, scales, chords, keys, intervals, and chord progressions all interact with each other to create a cohesive and interesting piece of music. For example, rhythm is the foundation of music and sets the tempo and feel of the piece. It interacts with melody, which is the series of notes played or sung in a certain sequence and rhythm to create a memorable and catchy tune. Harmony, on the other hand, is the combination of two or more notes played simultaneously and interacts with melody to create a fuller and richer sound. Harmony is also influenced by the key in which the music is played, as each key has a specific set of notes and chords that are associated with it. Timbre, or the tone color of the music, can be influenced by the instrument being played and also interacts with melody and harmony to create a unique and distinct sound. Form is the structure of the music, and it interacts with all the other concepts to create a sense of progression and development throughout the piece. For example, a piece of music may have multiple sections, each with its own melody, harmony, and rhythm, but the overall form of the piece ties everything together to create a cohesive and satisfying musical experience. Scales, chords, and intervals are the building blocks of music theory and interact with each other to create the harmonic structure of a piece. Chord progressions are the sequence of chords played in a specific order, and they interact with melody and rhythm to create tension and release in the music. In summary, all the music theory concepts interact with each other to create a cohesive and interesting piece of music. Each concept contributes its own unique element to the composition, and their interaction creates the overall sound and mood of the music. The fundamental elements and concepts of music theory all interact with each other to create a complete musical composition. Rhythm is the foundation of music and sets the tempo and feel of the piece. It interacts with melody, which is the sequence of notes played or sung in a certain rhythm to create a memorable tune. Harmony, on the other hand, is the combination of two or more notes played simultaneously and interacts with melody to create a fuller and richer sound. Timbre, or the tone color of the music, can be influenced by the instrument being played and interacts with melody and harmony to create a unique and distinct sound. Form, the structure of the music, interacts with all the other concepts to create a sense of progression and development throughout the piece. Scales, chords, and intervals are the building blocks of music theory and interact with each other to create the harmonic structure of a piece. Chord progressions, which are the sequence of chords played in a specific order, interact with melody and rhythm to create tension and release in the music. Additionally, keys are the foundation of music theory and determine the set of notes that can be used in a composition. The choice of key affects the overall mood of the piece and interacts with all the other concepts to create a cohesive musical composition. In summary, the fundamental elements and concepts of music theory all interact with each other to create a complete and satisfying musical composition. They work together to create a cohesive sound and structure, and each concept contributes its own unique element to the composition. We'll be recapping everything we've talked about so far. Music theory is the study of the fundamental elements of music and how they interact with each other to create a complete musical composition. The fundamental elements of music theory include rhythm, melody, harmony, timbre, and form. Rhythm is the foundation of music and sets the tempo and feel of the piece. Melody is the sequence of notes played or sung in a certain rhythm to create a memorable tune. Harmony is the combination of two or more notes played simultaneously to create a fuller and richer sound. Timbre is the tone color of the music, which can be influenced by the instrument being played. Form is the structure of the music, which interacts with all the other concepts to create a sense of progression and development throughout the piece. The music theory concepts that we've discussed in this video include scales, chords, keys, intervals, chord progressions, and modes. Scales are a set of notes played in a specific sequence that create a particular mood or sound. Chords are two or more notes played simultaneously that create a sense of harmony. Keys determine the set of notes that can be used in a composition and affect the overall mood of the piece. Intervals are the distance between two notes and affect the tension and release of the music. Chord progressions are the sequence of chords played in a specific order, which interact with melody and rhythm to create tension and release in the music. Modes are the variations of scales that have different starting points and intervals, resulting in a unique sound and mood. All the fundamental elements and concepts of music theory interact with each other to create a cohesive and interesting piece of music. Rhythm sets the tempo and interacts with melody to create a memorable tune. Harmony interacts with melody to create a fuller and richer sound. Timbre interacts with melody and harmony to create a unique and distinct sound. Form ties everything together to create a cohesive and satisfying musical experience. Scales, chords, and intervals interact with each other to create the harmonic structure of a piece. Chord progressions interact with melody and rhythm to create tension and release in the music. And that's it. We've covered the fundamental elements and concepts of music theory and how they interact with each other to create a complete and satisfying musical composition. Remember, music theory is a vast subject, and there's always more to learn. But with this knowledge, you'll have a better understanding of how music works, and it'll help you create better and more meaningful compositions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.